Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Around the Town with Mark. I am Mark Whalen, your host, and you know that I always love having you tune in and visit with us. Well, this is the time of year where everyone's looking for fun things to see and to do with their family and friends. Our area has no shortage of great things to see and do with your family and friends. Today we're going to talk about something to do that's very special. And it's got all kinds of components, and it's the National Aviation Day celebration, which is here at our local airport, the Groton-New London Airport. My guest today is an expert on all things that are happening that day, and he's going to tell us everything that you need to know. So let me go right ahead and introduce my guest, Dave Sellins. Dave, welcome to Around the Town with Mark.
Thank you very much, Mark.
We're
I'm so
happy to
honored,
have you.
and thank you for having me to be able to share some of the excitement that we're looking forward to.
Well, let's start out with introduce yourself and what you do and your involvement.
I'm David Sellins, and I am retired from building submarines for 40 years. I'm now retired building little tiny airplanes, what I refer to as home builds. But basically they're kit built little airplanes, 1-2 place. We stay on the small side. But it's just something I enjoy, and belonging to the Experimental Aircraft Association, our local chapter is 334. So we have meetings that's been at the Jet Center, the Mystic Jet Center at Groton, but we now meeting at Westerly Airport over at Dooney. So we come from several different communities, but we all enjoy building airplanes, flying airplanes, talking about airplanes. And once I get going, I may not want to stop. It goes crazy. But this year, I want to explain some of the things that's going to take place at the Groton-New London Airport.
Let's give them the date, the times.
Okay, it's August the 17th.
Saturday.
And it's open from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 p.m., 4 hours. And you really need to be out there all 4 hours. Wait until I tell you all of the exciting things that's happening this year, because it's probably twice as big as in the preceding year, last year and the year before.
Fantastic.
And to get started, I'm going to say last year, and I've been part of it for 2 years, but this open house has been conducted by Catherine Young, who's the Connecticut Airport Authority and the manager of the airport. And she sponsored this open house to show the community all that Groton-New London Airport offers to everyone in the community. Now, I have to say, she's outdone herself this year. Last year, all I had in a very small way is my friend Ted Gordon taxied his little airplane out that looks so neat. It's all carbon fiber. It's a plane made in Europe, in the Czech Republic.
All right.
But it's absolutely beautiful. And that's the only thing we had to display. He and I helped him. We were recruiting, of course, for the EAA local chapter 334, try and join in and have some fun building airplanes. So he put his little airplane out there, and it's one of these. Oh, wow, what a, when you see it. Now, when you look at mine, you say, oh, wow, so we're going to start there. Mine's going to be right up front, and everything after that kind of improves and gets to the, oh, wow, kind of thing. So that was last year. We had a very small, insignificant thing, but the prop jets and the new airplanes were out there. And I noticed in the middle, it was kind of open. There's people walking around. We had many other displays too. That's thanks to Catherine Young. This year, she has invited the United States Coast Guard. They're going to be flying in, I think, a 4-engine turboprop and a big helicopter that they do the air-sea rescues.
Some serious stuff here.
Heavy duty, and that wasn't there last year. Then she's invited the United States Army. I'm not sure what they're flying in, but it will be heavy duty.
Oh.
I also have to mention the fact that the Connecticut Air National Guard, and they're the ones that operate the helicopter repair station. So significant.
Right there at the airport.
They're right
Yep.
there, and they operate to maintain these helicopters for the Army or rebuild them after they've been in combat and damaged. This is where they do it, Groton-New, London. And with that, I have to proudly say, my grandson, Owen Johnson, who just graduated this past spring at Waterford High School, has already enlisted in the Connecticut Air National Guard.
Wow.
I'm so proud of him.
Congratulations.
He's going to be leaving for his basic training July 29th, but he's going to go in advanced training for helicopter repair, so when he gets back, he will be employed in
Fantastic.
Groton-New, London Helicopter Repair Station. So having said that, I'm so proud.
Obviously, and
Yes,
you should be.
Yes. So now, here's all the heavy military planes that's going to be out there. The Connecticut Air National Guard is going to have one of their Black Hawk helicopters on display. You can sit in it and get your picture taken. I did, had
Fantastic.
to, and it's going to be there. Now that's going to be on the outer parts of the ramp, immediately outside of the terminal, which is kind of in the middle of things. There's a wing this way and a wing to the left, but the terminal is right in the middle, overlooks the two crossing runways, beautiful, right out to Long Island Sound, and of course, New York Fisher's Island. So it's a beautiful site. I love Groton-New London Airport.
Yeah, and obviously that when people go to the show, that they're going to be able to walk out on this ramp.
Absolutely.
They're going to be able to walk out beyond the gates that usually you can't
No, there's
go
for
beyond.
security. It's open.
It's open,
It's
and
open.
they can go into the hangars and all
Right, and
these-
one of the hangars to the right wing, if I may, is going to be drones.
Oh,
So now, it's very important for anyone, if you have a drone, a toy drone, or a commercial drone, don't fly it again this year until you come to the drone presentation. It's public awareness on the new laws
okay.
that are liable and criminal laws that you could easily get into not knowing. Don't operate a drone until you attend their very important meetings.
Yeah.
And that's in one of the Landmar hangars on the right.
Okay.
And of course, as you approach any of the doors, there will be flyers giving you what's happening, when it's happening, and it'll give you the indication of the hangars it's in. Drones is extremely important.
And it's good to just throw in while we're talking about all these things
Yeah.
that everything is open and free.
Everything is open and free.
So you can go and learn about, have this seminar on drones and
Yes.
educate yourself
Absolutely.
for free. I mean, you just,
That's critical.
Yep.
It's very critical. So that's just one area that's open. But out in the ramp area, out in front of the terminal, you're going to see a brand new turboprop airplane. And these TBMs from Dar are sold and serviced at Groton-New London Airport,
How about
all
that?
over the United States. He has a brand new one to show, as they did last year. And it's all open. See the luxury of an airplane that's several $1 million. But
So bring your
anyways,
checkbook.
Bring your checkbook. Who knows?
yeah.
The luxury is beautiful. This is an airplane that flies in excess of 330 knots. That's approaching 400 miles an hour,
Wow.
people.
That's fast.
And it holds 6 people.
What a way to travel, huh?
Oh, it's absolutely. But they're sold and serviced right here in Groton-New London. And that's the building that's right next to the Mystic Jet Center. Now, the Mystic Jet Center is quite important because they do all the ground operations, directing the traffic in, people getting in tie-downs, servicing all the aircraft out on the ramps. They will be there that morning. George Manning, I believe, and their services. They'll be in their blue shirts. I'm going to be in a high visibility yellow because I'm going to direct in the little home builts we got coming in. More about them in a minute.
People don't probably realize that even though Groton-New London Airport is a small operation, There's a lot. There's a lot that comes in between the military and a lot of big name celebrities that come in, which I can't mention, but their names. But they come in on their private planes. So there's a great deal of activity that people are probably not aware of that happens every day.
That's correct. And some of these jet aircraft, when you get into the Mystic Jet Center, you can go through their hangar. You're going to see these jets that they take care of, private jets. Some of these aircraft, Mark, have a 5,000-mile range. They could be coming in from France or going to Germany right out of Groton. They're huge and fast. But basically aircraft that may sit maybe 8, maybe 12 people. Some are like 6 place. They're a little smaller. But anyways, stop by the Mystic Jet Center. It's a great place. It's where the air crews relax, very luxurious. They have a little picnic area that's all private outside so that you can watch your $25 million jet airplane being fueled. Just saying. Yeah. But inside, you may be someone who wants to use their conference room. And we had our meetings there. The EAA Local Chapter 334 has been there many times before because they have one room, and I'm going to guesstimate maybe 25 or 30 people. Then they have a small, very private room, very luxurious. We can close the door. I'm going to say it seats 12. So depending, but a totally different atmosphere where maybe you and your constituents have ever met before. Right in the middle of Jet City, Mystic Jet Center. Just ask Stacy Rashad, and she has it opening. She'll arrange for tours. Really great place.
Great.
But now, there's the 2 wings of the airport. As you approach the main terminal, there's going to be a door on the right that goes through, right out onto the ramp, and you walk right past my favorite restaurant, 511, and they're cooking outside this year, hot dogs and for a little festive.
Super.
All right? And you go outside, that's where that prop jet's going to be.
Everybody loves to have food.
Oh, and it's fun food. Now, if you go in the left door, the left side door entrance and exit, that's where the Groton Flight School is. And their flight school starts with private pilot's lessons. You work your way up into instruments, commercial license. That's the flight school. It's important to know that in that side is where the Civil Air Patrol, the CAP, at Groton-New London Airport has a huge squadron. I'm not sure of the numbers, but it's right across the street. They have their own facilities. And of course, they're helping us with the cadets in their Air Force uniforms, because the CAP is an attaching arm of the United States Air Force.
All right.
And it's budgeted and financed completely through the Air Force budget. The training, their aircraft will be available to look at and see. Let them explain their missions. They fly missions for search and rescue, which now involves the helicopters from the Coast Guard. They fly search missions for weather observation, damage from a tornado or the hurricanes. They fly real missions. These are the pilots and air crew. They refer to as seniors. Has nothing to do with my age, but they are the commanding.
Okay.
Now, if you're interested in being a cadet, they're cadets, I believe the age is 13 to 21. But what a way to get involved. You have to learn right face, left face, and you learn how to march. It's not like being in the Army or anything, but it's military, and they dress in their Air Force fatigue uniforms, and of course march in the parades.
What an exciting experience.
And the great thing is
learning experience.
Go talk to them. It's so wonderful when they say, yes, sir, no, ma'am. Wow, it's so refreshing to see. They're so great. So if you have a young man or a young woman that would like to maybe get involved, the CAP, become a cadet. And they fly. They learn flying lessons. One of the things they had last year, I'm sure they'll have them again, are the flight simulators. And this is where you sit up and they have the pedals, and you actually fly an airplane with the controls, and you can see it taking off, and then you make your first turn out of traffic, and you can actually fly cross country. So it's almost like getting your first flying lesson without even leaving the ground.
And that's
It's
right there and available?
It's going to be right there.
Oh, wow,
When you
that's
got to see it.
fantastic.
Now, once you walk out onto the ramp to the left side, their airplanes will be there. The flight school will be there. Ask Kyle about the learning how to fly. You can look and ask him if he can actually sit in the airplane. Why does the steering wheel do this and that? What is the matter? Where are the brakes? How come there's so many speedometer things?
Yeah.
Ask him. It's more fun.
Great.
He's going to answer your question, and we have several flight instructors there. In amongst all the aircraft, I saw Catherine maybe in February, and I said, I have an idea. I don't know what it's going to, and you won't hurt my feelings if you say no. But I think there's enough room right in the middle between the multi-million-dollar jets and the Cirrus airplane that's going to be brand new, 4-passenger, low wing. Yeah, right under $1 million, no problem. But who's counting when you're having fun? Let's
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
So anyways, in amongst this, all of them is the least significant. Mine's going to start it, the home builds. And I said, you know, we're not with the big guys, but you know what? We're just as proud of our little airplanes as these
Sure.
guys were theirs because we built them. Mostly are built out of kits. Sometimes you buy a plan like I do, scratch builder. So I get it and I find out the types of materials and I go buy them, not from a local lumber yard and not from a local hardware store.
Okay.
You get them from Aircraft Supply. They're going to give you the list of materials.
All right.
You buy them. Easiest yet, and we're going to have a man who sells kits. Finally, someone who's a real expert on building airplanes, Jeff Erickson.
right.
Now, Jeff is a CFI, Certified Flight Instructor for sport pilots. And he teaches and flies out of Chester Airport, one of the prettiest little airports, private airports in Connecticut. It's right across the river from Goodspeed Opera House
right.
and their little airports, and the Goodspeed Airport. I've actually done touch and goes in there. But anyways, so I've flown with Jeff. Jeff Erickson is going to be at the show. He's going to show you his plans, his drawings to build his wood kits.
So we're talking about kits that fathers and sons and daughters and mothers
Fun.
can just do all at home.
I built mine down in my basement, the glues and everything, even the paints I used to paint it, and how you put the Dacron on and irons to shrink fit it, and it doesn't smell.
Has anyone ever built one in the basement and not been able to get it out of the basement?
It only happened to me once, and I've never forgotten. My grandson and I was just about 1.5 inches. We had to cut it in 3 pieces to get it out. Yes.
So it does happen.
And it's a good point, because I can build I work in my basement on a 4 by 8 foot table. So I can build a fuselage, and then I build the part of the empennage. And then I put the crossway, so now I have a box, and then because this is a V, comes up to fit it, I do that first, and then I put the cross members in. Now I have a full airplane. Suggestion, do that outside in the garage, because
Yeah.
now you got something 12 feet long.
Yeah.
Or building wings, best on a 16-foot table outside. So I have a portable garage that I
All
do.
right.
That's like my hangar, whatever.
Sure.
Because if you build the wings in the basement, you're definitely going to end up with 2 12-foot long coffee tables. I mean, what?
Well, I think we have some.
That happens.
I think we have some pictures of that. Correct? Do you want to have the pictures on screen?
Sure.
So we can talk about it?
Well, yes, and especially the green zing. We're going to start off with the zing. Jeff
we go.
Erickson sells this as a kit. Give you some idea.
So that's sort of an idea of
The airplane,
a homemade airplane.
homemade airplane.
Wow.
This is an ultralight, and it's all wood, wooden wing, and the fuselage and tail are all wood. Now, for $3,000, doesn't include the engine or the instruments or its landing gear and wheels, because that's something that varies between you, me, and the next guy. But the airplane is all there, and this actually has a little windscreen on it, and actually has a little door on one side. That's an
Okay.
option. So it's a one place you can slip in. Basically, this is an airplane, has like 30 horsepower. It flies like 55 miles an hour maximum. It can weigh no more than 254 pounds, several other things.
Okay.
That makes it an ultralight.
All right.
You do not need to register it. It doesn't have an N number.
Oh, okay.
And you don't need to have a pilot's license.
Well, that makes it easy.
Now it's highly suggested you learn how to fly. Take flying lessons, 8 to 10 hours. Anyway, know how to fly.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is try and self-learn how to fly an airplane,
I don't
especially
think
if you
so.
built it.
Yeah.
No.
No.
All the parts come from aircraft. But that is a Zing. Jeff will have a fuselage and everything that I think is all finished. I'm not sure he's getting there, but I don't think he has the engine on. Of course, he's going to transport it without the wings, but you're going to see his plans.
All right.
You're going to be able to see what the finished product looks like, and you can imagine in between. You can do it, anybody can do it, because it's made out of wood, covered in Dacron. Even the paint and the glues used are water washable.
Oh, really? Great.
No water
Okay.
to them. I do it in my basement.
Wow.
Now we have a blue Zing, just to show you a little bit different. Same kit,
All
but
right.
look a little bit different. Little
Yeah.
bigger wheels.
Fun little
open
paint
top,
job.
And this has a 2-cycle engine to keep it very light, keep it under that 254 pounds.
Fantastic.
And here, the back thing, whatever he's got going there, very fancy, just a little bit custom. Now Jeff also sells a Cloudster. The Cloudster is white, and if you
All
look
right.
very closely, it's a flying motorcycle.
Oh,
you can
for
see
heaven's sakes. Yep.
his legs and blue jeans sticking out on the pegs.
I do see that.
See
yeah,
that?
you
And
can.
same
yeah.
type of, again,
Yeah.
30 horsepower with the exact same wings and that as the Zing. Jeff sells these aircraft in kits, basically around $3,000
Okay.
for the airframe kit.
Right.
And talk to him, see what it is. Because it's right here in Connecticut, and he flies out of Chester, as I said, you can literally, once it takes the few weeks it takes to assemble your kit, take a pickup truck, go pick it up and drive it home, start working, and save
Wow.
the freight. This is a Connecticut airplane.
That's
Jeff will be
fantastic.
there with me on the ramp. We're going to have his airplane right up front alongside mine. So it's great that Jeff can make it.
Fantastic.
And Simplex Aero is his company. Now, Jeff bought these aircraft, or the rights to them, about 8 or 10 years ago. These aircraft were designed in the early 1990s. So there's hundreds of them made. They're well proven and fly safe
Fantastic.
within that ultralight.
Yep.
Now I'm going to show, the next airplane is red. Look how pretty this
Oh,
is.
that
is
looks like a Jetson little mobile.
It
type
does,
of thing.
and it's all aluminum, and you can get this in a kit, and you can also buy the engine in a kit. You assemble the airplane, you assemble the engine. This is a Sonex.
Now that looks like a fun airplane.
They make a single place and a 2-place, and it's manufactured in the home of the EAA, which is up in Wisconsin. And
That is
they make a 1-place,
great.
2-place. They also make a jet airplane. Home builds could be jet.
Jet too.
Sonex
really.
makes a jet airplane. The first one to be assembled and test flown was right here at Groton-New London Airport.
that's
So I'm trying to
fantastic.
get a hold of that person. If you please come out and email me, we're going to show my email address, contact me.
Yep.
Anyone who has a home built, would like to show, please email me. Let me know. There's a few
Yep, right there,
facts and
everyone.
figures
Write it down.
that I need to know, and there's 3 or 4 things to give arrival times and how we're going to set
Sure.
it up, of course, and chalking. All aircraft have to be chalked because they're light. A little bit of wind for public safety. I
right,
want
of
the
course.
owners to chalk them. So there's a few things. Please email me. It's so important. And this show is going to be the biggest one. I think Catherine has really put herself out over the top this year. And she's allowing we, the EAA home builders, and our modest little airplanes that we built with our own little hands, center stage, right down front row.
That's
and
exciting.
That's what we always like. I
That's
like to be
exciting.
spoiled. Thank you, Catherine Young.
So it's-
the biggest show ever. Come out
fantastic.
and have fun.
Well, it sounds I mean, it's really a little bit for everybody.
It's for everybody,
All
even
ages.
the kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Let them
all
sit in my
ages.
airplane. They can get the pictures. Even in my aircraft, it's got a nice little seat in it. And they can sit in and get the pictures taken. And believe it or not, my aircraft is so small that the baggage compartment is literally on the back of the seat. It's got a little
really?
backpack. That's the baggage compartment. That's how limited these little ultralights are.
Again, that's sort of like a motorcycle.
It's
You know,
all
they're
of them, but
little-
it's a real airplane, three
Oh,
axis.
sure.
Now, ultralights could also be parachutes. So I could put an engine and
All
a
right.
propeller on my back and start running, and the parachute goes up. Or wings. You can hang off the wing. These are all light aircraft. You do not have to have a pilot's license or register them. They're all considered ultralights. When you get into an EAB, like the red one, this Sonics and all of the aircraft are just super. Experimental amateur builds. And they're registered, we have an N number, you have to have a flying license
All right.
to fly them. And they virtually, I'm going to give you a price range on this airplane. All built, ready to fly. You have to do the paint job, that doesn't come with a kit. But you're looking at maybe $30,000, $40,000. That's with the engine, the propeller, but you have to assemble the engine just like you assemble the airplane.
Well, you know,
be a
it's-
home builder.
It's sort of like of the price of a second car, really.
It
for
is.
most people.
And it's a brand new airplane
Yeah.
with an engine that'll fly 1,500 miles.
Wow.
These little aircraft cruise at 115 miles an hour.
Wow.
You know, very economical, 5 gallons an hour. But
Well, we're down to our
very
last
workable.
couple of minutes.
Okay.
Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you want to mention? You're looking for more volunteers?
we're
or
looking for more
sponsorships?
members. The
More members,
EAA
okay.
Local 334 is down. We're suffering badly.
All right.
And it's time, we're in that time and age where people don't really join clubs anymore. But we need people, if you're interested in building an airplane, come get help. Join the EAA local. May not be ours, it may be another local. But if you're interested, check out the kits. You're interested in building an airplane, get into a kit where you can get help and information, how I can teach you how to cover an airplane and shrink it nice and tight.
Oh, wow,
So
great.
these are some of the things. Now, I'm going to be also in Westerly September the 7th. They're going to do Wings Over Westerly at the
Fantastic.
airport. They're celebrating 350 years old of Westerly. So
Wow.
we're going to have our home built show there. Mark, thank you so much for
Well-
being on. Obviously, once I start talking about airplanes, it's hard to shut me up.
Well, I can tell you're just a little bit enthusiastic, and I
I'm
think
ready.
that's great.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. That's what we want. So thank you for being on my show
Oh,
today.
thank you for having
and
me.
Good luck on August 17th.
Thank you.
Thank my viewers for tuning in to Around the Town with Mark today. Definitely put Saturday, August 17th, Groton-New London Airport on your calendar. I've been to them in the past, and they're great. Obviously, this year is even going to be better. So bring the family, bring the friends. Have a great day. And again, thank you for tuning in to Around the Town with Mark, and we'll be seeing you again real soon.